Welcome back to NewsMakers. On the panel, Jamie Gough, Jim Tully and David Lynch. Well, next week in Christchurch, the annual college versus school rugby game will be held, and the police are going to be out in force to combat the drunk sideline thuggery of previous years. Every spectator will be breath tested, and anyone who has been drinking apparently is going to be refused admission. And this blitz has the blessing of the respective schools' boards. What do we make of it, Jim?
I'll be cheering for school, obviously. It's sad, isn't it, really, that we've got to this point where, young men who are seemingly well educated, have come mostly from privileged backgrounds of one kind or another, when they leave that school, because they're the ones who seem to be the troublemakers, can't behave in a sensible, responsible manner. And it just saddens me, really, that a game that has that tradition has been tainted by this ridiculous behaviour.
Do you think the police plans, with the blessing of the schools, is over the top?
In a word, yes. I'm so sad to say, Mike, that it actually doesn't surprise me anymore. I don't know how many times we've seen in our society the answer is to address something totally irrelevant, and then we'll wonder why nothing's really worked and why we've spent umpteen amounts of time, resources on something that really has nothing to do with the issue. Normal, everyday mum and dad that goes to support their kids, or an old boy that wants to go along and enjoy the game, have a glass of wine, a beer before the match, enjoy the rugby, they're the ones that are going to be punished by it, and it is just absolutely crazy. The reality is, the people that are making the trouble are young, boozed kids that are coming along there. So we all know that. Perhaps the police could say, right, anyone that appears to be intoxicated, because that's the problem. It's not mum or dad that's had a wine. They're not the issue, but they're the ones that are going to be punished. If someone looks drunk, they breathalyse them. If they blow over an agreed limit prior, say the drink driving limit, then they're not allowed in. If someone's acting up, they're thrown in the paddy wagon. Address the problem and don't punish the people that aren't doing anything wrong.
A police source has indicated to me that apparently there are going to be more cops assigned to this school rugby game next week than there will be at AMI for the Bledisloe test in August, which I just find extraordinary. Is that just the reality we're dealing with?
I think it is. Jim said, it's really sad it's come to this, but if the game is to continue, and there is a concern, and there is a concern obviously about the problem, those involved in policing and managing have to take some steps to control the participants going in. And I think, I look at the school balls today and the dances that our kids go to, they're breathalyzed when they go into the halls. It is an unfortunate statement on society as we live in today, but if it's going to address the problem and control it, I say that that's the way they'll have to go, unfortunately.
Wouldn't it make more sense, though, to if they had any alcohol in their breath, as they're planning on doing, if you have one beer, you can't come in. Yeah. Surely they should say, and it's not people that have had one beer that are the problem, it's people that have had 12 beers that are the problem. Yeah. So if they said, if you're breathalyzed and you blow over a reasonable limit, then you're not allowed in. If you are, according to our breathalyzer machine, intoxicated, then you're not allowed in.
Yeah, well, I'm sure a very strong flu medication would probably put you over the limit next week.
Strong aftershave.
Yeah. Yes, actually, I've noticed you've got that on today, Jamie.
You're over the limit, Jamie.
Yes, we'll have to start breathalyzing.
Hey, whatever gets me through the day.
Speaking of sport, the beautiful game, the All Whites have made an instant impact, and of course Italia is looming on Monday. Are you absorbed by FIFA's big show?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, and there are enough surprises with the Swiss beating Spain and then France going down this morning to make it not just a formality. So, and of course New Zealand's draw, which constitutes a win to us, I guess, has been the icing on the cake. I actually think this team will finish up with more than 1 point, and they may not go through the next round, but I think they're much better than people are often giving them credit for.
Yes, and we do feel so sorry for our friends across the sea, don't we, David?
Oh, absolutely.
Our fellow Australasians.
Indeed, our Australasian family members, yes.
I think it's interesting. Has it taken New Zealand 28 years to get this goal? It's been a fairly expensive return on investment, but I'm not engrossed, to be honest, Michael. The kids are, so I'm not joining the 700 million around the world who I believe are watching it. But
you don't have a vuvuzela in your pocket.
It's years, Michael. I like to hear see the game and hear the game, and it's that droning in the background that annoys me. Though I understand some television networks found a way of taking that out.
Yes.
So
yes.
I must find that station somewhere.
What do you make of it, Jamie?
I feel almost ashamed to say that I'm not a true soccer man through and through. I'm a rugby man. But I have to say, whenever New Zealand's in something, I can't help but find myself, despite what I might have ever thought, myself actually a wee bit engrossed. I was lying in bed and talking away to the girlfriend, and I said, well, do you think we could put the soccer on? She said, you hate soccer. I said, the All Whites are playing.
Football, if you don't mind.
Yes, football to the
Football,
purist,
yes,
Jamie.
yes, you're right. Well, you see, it's not in my blood. It's not in my blood. Forgive me, Jim.
All right, free shot time, 30 seconds apiece. Heroes and villains of the week. You can set the world to rights as you wish. Jim.
Well, I'll go with Ricky Herbert because I think he's done a great job in getting this team this far. And the clown of the week is Carter, the Labour ministerial profligate, and that stupid behaviour around Parliament. I mean, what a clown.
Yeah. David.
Well, the hero for me, Michael, is in fact you, News Talk ZB, and Gordon Freeman for bringing back Talkback on Monday to Canterbury. The villains have to be the crybabies in Parliament and local government who have some difficulty in the media, and us having a look at their credit cards and where they're spending our money.
Yes, but there's always a public relations advisor.
There are many public relations advisors in Wellington, Michael.
Jamie.
I would say the hero would be to the fire department who put out a fire on 96 Hereford Street on Friday night. I was at a property do that night and my car was parked right behind the building. Actually just bought the new car, so I didn't want to have to kick the ashes just yet. So I'm very happy that they put that fire out. They're the heroes, good stuff. The villain would be, yes, definitely the Minister of Silly Walks, Phil Gough. I've never seen such a sort of gang-related walk in Parliament. There's something going on there. There is something going on, and that walk isn't quite right. And the Ministry of Silly Walks and the Minister himself, I think, need to sort that out.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Gough. To the pick of the week. And this image, by the way, was taken inside Burger King in California recently. The worker was wearing, as you can see, a T-shirt that says "Small is beautiful." And right on cue, his burger-hungry customer provides a very generous serving of irony, don't you think? To the NewsMakers poll. Last week's question, should the 4-kilometre speed threshold be adopted by the police as a permanent enforcement measure? Now, you weren't keen on this one as a starter for 10, 39% yes, 61% no. The prize winner, H. Timms. This week's question, should the police be breathalyzing all rugby spectators at next week's college versus school game? Yes or no? Email newsmakers@ctv.co.nz or you can post it to PO Box 1100 Christchurch. Do so and you'll be in to win Bill Bryson's new book, A Place at Home, and the finest, freshest, winter-defying coffee from Cafe Aurora. Thank you very much to our all-star panel, Professor Jim Tully, David Lynch and Jamie Gough. Thank you very much for your company. Keep warm. Go the All Whites. We'll see you next week. Good night.